Well, just now I was studying some availability bias. It's a psychological phenomena that people tend to, you know, remain biased based on the immediate available information. So, and this available information is always prejudiced. It's instantaneous. There is no more thought or understanding applied to it. For example, if you say, okay, so and so restaurant was not good. Okay, maybe on that day, particular waiter or they didn't have a good time in the morning in their own house, right? And you immediately judge that the restaurant is not good. This is immediate impact of it, say. But if you go on again and again and see that that is not the fact. But should I make so many efforts to understand the other? If I can remain open without previous biases, right? Suppose I lied to Hannah, and the result would be that you may not trust me, right? And what would be my wish? That Hannah, please forgive me. Would you trust me again? That means I would like that you would forget my previous encounter. You change your conditioning about myself. That is the level of generosity I would beg Hannah to have for me. So similarly, for the rest of the world, I had to be generous enough to let go of others' mistakes, impressions that we collect, and give them some level of freedom. That doesn't mean that we forget. This teaches us one fundamental thing, that whatever act we have, it remains in our mind as a cognitive memory or it remains as an emotional memory. Emotional memory builds samskaras, builds impressions. I can forgive very easily when I do the evening cleaning, when I perform this evening rejuvenation process, I can get rid of the baggage. But it is good for me to remember, because this remembering at a cognitive level is better for me for my own personal protection. So, cleaning does not remove the protective veil that it creates around us. It removes the burden of emotion. So, in that sense, cleaning is of very great importance actually. And when we meditate, the meditative mind will deflect all the unnecessary baggage that you would otherwise accumulate. So, meditative mind prevents us from forming more and more impressions. So, it works, it's as a double-edged sword, see. Meditation not only creates a meditative state, but when we function with a meditative state of mind, we have less anger, we have better understanding, and because of that, we don't form heavy loads of impressions. We don't get so much rattled by things around us. We are able to deflect the problems before they even occur, because meditative mind can understand ahead of time before you even think of it, before you even act. For example, when I had to meditate in the morning, and during meditation, I don't only get just the thoughts around divinity or Babuji, but I would have other thoughts as well related to what I'm supposed to do later on during daytime. And when they do pass by my mind and I'm witnessing those thoughts, and automatically the attention will go towards what I must not be indulging with. My heart will say, avoid this. So I would have saved so much of time by not entertaining those thoughts, and actually also not giving the appointment for that activity. So we save a lot of time as well, see. Cleaning frees us tremendously and grants us so much of peace. And lightness. Even whether you believe in God or not, that's not important. But when you do this evening cleaning process, or for example, you are about to lose your fuse and you are about to get angry. But before that, if you can manage to control yourself and do just 2 minutes of cleaning, you'll be able to protect yourself from this outburst of anger. Anger at any cost, I mean, whether it is for a justifiable reason or not, it's always bad. See? It's good to keep it, postpone it as much as you can and see the impact of it. I'll explain to you, I don't know how many of you can understand chemistry. But in chemistry, there are things like bonds. There are chemical bonds. Like we have relationship bonds, right? Now, just as chemical bonds are formed, and a lot of energy input is required to form any bond. In relationship also, we develop relationship and we invest so much of our emotion in this relationship, right? And it creates either the strong bond or the weak bond. Now, when we break these bonds, for example, when I'm identified myself, when I bonded myself with body consciousness, you know, or my mind consciousness, or my identification with my ego, or my identification with my community. And when I dissolve these bonds, when I clean these bonds, when I break these bonds, so much of energy is freed up from inside. And this energy that you have now released within the system now is better available for a creative work. That's why they say don't have so much of bondage. Have relationship, but maintain only that much of bond that is required. Loving bond is always welcome. Loving bond always frees us. I mean, it gives us so much of freedom versus the bond that is created out of choicelessness and helplessness. And they need to be dropped. And once you drop those things, I think you get so much of creative energy bubbling inside. I'm sharing this because energy can never be destroyed. Science repeats that again and again. The great Einstein also says energy can never be destroyed. You can only transform the energy. Now, when we say this anger, it's also an energy. I can transform this anger through the lens or allowing it to pass through my consciousness, through my heart. With a better understanding, I can transform it, I can mutate it and make it more compassionate heart. See. You just give it a time if you have a moment to ponder over your reason for anger. Then you'll say, oh, I'm glad I postponed it. Now I have understood that it was good that I did not blow up. So cleaning is a great offering of, I think, more important, I would say, than meditation itself. Cleaning aspect and the heartfulness practice, it's a magical tool.